Hello everyone. Welcome to this presentation brought to you by OBA at www.oba.io. Today we'll be discussing how to use interactivity to get more effective analysis on dashboards. First of all, one of the things to be very aware of is that the more analyses that you or your users can do, the more value you're going to receive from the dashboards. One of the ways to achieve this is to add more visualizations, options, or selectors. With these, more analysis can be done. This brings a problem though. As you add more of these objects, you tend to have more clutter on the screen and more things that the users can do. So it's absolutely critical to be sure you're telling a very logical, coherent story. Let's take an example. We were given a challenge by one of our clients to analyze 5 different marketing channels, and they gave us 2 requirements. They wanted to see monthly performance of various metrics, and they wanted to show all channels in all months on one chart. Additionally, they wanted to show on the same screen the monthly metrics over the last 2 years as a trend line. This presented a challenge in that these two are somewhat exclusive of one another. Here is how we solve this, and we will go to a live demonstration. We created a screen that had 2 elements on it. The left side was a scatter diagram that met the first requirement. It shows all channels, all months, and we color coded for an easy visual grouping. The right side met the second requirement. We were able to show the x-axis and the y-axis metrics as a 2-year trend line with each of the monthly points on. And then in order to select these, we put all of the metrics that could be selected into these selectors. And when someone wanted to change to one of the marketing channels, they could hover over the individual points. Now, please note that all data in this demonstration is fictitious and does not reflect any real-world performance. Okay, with all of that being said, let's move on to our live dashboard. Here is our live dashboard. We can see that it comes up by default. On the x-axis is revenue, the y-axis is orders. That's reflected here and here. Additionally, the x-axis trend line for the metric revenue will be shown on the top chart here. The y-axis will be shown in the bottom chart here. Let's go through an example of this. If we wanted to see the effect of the 5 different marketing channels, we can see revenue, orders, and they're grouped color coded so that we're able to measure and gauge how each marketing channel did. As we hover over any point, the top chart on this side will show for the particular marketing channel. As we hover again, we can see the top chart changes to Instagram, to printed media, to Twitter, or to Facebook. Now, the way that a user can work with this is they can select a new metric, such as profit. And profit on the x-axis is painted here and also in these 2 trend lines. And again, we can hover over any one of the points to see how it's doing for that particular media. One of the things that I always like to look at on here is profit and ad expense. Now, this tells us how much money we're making off of each of the different marketing channels, along with the expenses we have to go to. This data indicates that our most profitable point was here with Google, and it was also one of our least expensive. As opposed to Facebook, which is up here and has a comparable profit, but a much higher expense. Now, looking at this side of the chart, it's hard to tell what the trends are, which is why we added the lines on this side. Going back to Google for a second, again, this is fictitious data, we can see that our profit goes up and so do our expenses. Although there's several points we ought to notice where profits have dropped in these months, but expenses stayed high. Might be something for further analysis. Now, to show you some of the other metrics we have in our canned version, we can show orders versus ad expense. And this is pretty much a linear function, as you can see, with the exception of Google. But this gives analysts a chance to go in and look at how one metric performs against another, revenue versus profit. We could see it's a little bit more spread out. Interestingly enough, profit goes up and down quite a bit. Might depend on what kind of products or services were ordered. But you could see from this that we were able to combine a number of features of interactivity by allowing for the selection of metrics, 4 of which are shown, more can be added as needed, and at the same time be able to drill into a specific marketing channel. Thank you for watching our presentation. Please visit us at www.ohba.io. That's ohba.io. Let us know what you liked about this presentation, what you didn't like, and if there's other presentations that you would like to see. We have a number of different dashboards, visualizations, and analyses that we can do for you. We are willing to give free consultations, free demos, and free quotes. Thank you again, and have a great day.